Where we are going to Sudan, and in Sudan, we're going to be focusing on what's unfolding there with regards to the Sudanese President Salva Kiir having fired three ministers and a governor in his latest cabinet reshuffle. No reasons have been given for the dismissals. The nation became the world's newest country in 2011 after ceding from Sudan, but has been engulfed by civil war after Kiir and his deputy Riek Machar fell out. And to discuss this further, we are joined on the line by political analyst Dr. David Matsanga. Dr. Matsanga, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Good afternoon, my sister. Good afternoon, Africa, and good afternoon, the entire world. Thank you very much. And we thank God for bringing us here again to talk about Africa.
Dr. Matsanga, is there anything untoward regarding these dismissals? What are the reasons behind it? Nothing has been spoken of.
Since independence, some of us helped a lot to get South Sudan independence. You remember the wars that took place between the Lord Resistance Army and the government of Uganda, SPLA, and the government of Khartoum, until we hammered the peace agreement in Uganda, in Juba. I was part of that negotiating team that brought about the removal of warring parties out of South Sudan, and South Sudan got independence. But since that time, South Sudan has remained a fragile state, a state where people kill each other. You remember the first president of South Sudan died in a helicopter crash, and then Mr. Salva Kiir took over power. No sooner had they taken over power than in 3 months a war broke out. And then in 3 years, a war broke out. They split. Dr. Riek Machar, a very good guy who does peace, who helped us to hammer peace in Uganda, fought against, and they all clashed. And South Sudan has been at the brink of disaster, from disaster and disaster. It is not a country you can talk about.
Now, of those that have been named as the replacements, are they from Kiir's party? And if so, could it mean that the president is looking at changing the landscape of the cabinet?
The president himself is part and parcel of the problem. And another thing that I want to say is IGAD is to blame the peace negotiators that went out to hammer the peace agreement of South Sudan. Errad. You cannot in life ever hammer a peace agreement without accountability. Accountability is key to any redemption strategy for a country to come and have peace. That was not done. That failed. The peace mediators, negotiators failed South Sudan. Since this agreement of coming together, Riek Machar and Salva Kiir was hammered, there has never been harmony. They all walk with pistols, ready to kill each other. Salva Kiir is a grown-up guy who I know very well. Riek Machar, an educated man whom I know very well. Why do they always want to kill each other? Ethnicity has been rampant, rife. Even in this selection is based on ethnicity. The sackings are based on ethnicity. That is where the problem is. We have not healed. People have not healed from the past wounds. They need to heal first. And that is what the mediators failed to do, to create accountability, a mechanism where people heal before they take up posts, which is now leading to sacking, summary execution, killings, almost a war zone. It's a war zone as we speak right now. Lulu, Riek Machar is under house arrest with their wife. They eat food from their house. They don't move out of their compound. That's what the South Sudan is. That's what we have in South Sudan, Juba.
Now, moving from South Sudan to the DRC, The Congo River Alliance accusing the government of violating agreements aimed at ending the conflict. Are these accusations by Corneille Nangaa, the leader of the AFC, true?
Yes, 100% true. I have told you, Lulu, I am one of the few people in Africa who speaks my mind. If you want to kill me, I've reached the time to go home. God will take me and welcome me. I speak my mind. You will never solve the problem of Congo without looking at Congo in a different way. I have said it and I will continue to say it here. You can do 1 million negotiations. You can do every pact you can sign. I have been there. Sun City, Congo needs to be rearranged. That's the word. Rearrange Congo. Because the East does not like the West does not like the East. The West has suspicion that the East are not Congolese. Therefore, you see, you arrange now a peace process in Qatar. Mr. Trump, our man across Atlantic, the guy, the unpredictable president of your United States of America, calls the people. They sit down. No sooner had the ink dried on the paper than the Congolese government spokesman minister comes and said, we shall not allow a M23 into our army. What agreement are you sorting out? In Qatar, we are wasting time. We went to Qatar. And I told you, you and I told you here,
yes, we had
that there will be no peace. Yes, there will be no peace in DRC Congo until Congo is rearranged like a Yugoslavia. Why are these Western countries? Why are these European countries? Why is France, which arranged Yugoslavia, why have they not rearranged us? Why? The West does not like the East. Let's face facts. The West, Tshisekedi calls the M23 Tutsi. He calls them Tutsi. He calls them names. He isolates them in the army. He doesn't want to integrate them in the army. What do these young men do? They have come to crowd in our country, Uganda. What do? We're refugees. We also have our own problems. Let me tell you, the only problem, anybody tackling Congo, if you have gone to school, unless you went to a wrong university, if you have gone to school and you did not study and are stripped outside the classroom in a compound, is when you can say you'll have an agreement in DRC Congo. You can only have an agreement in DRC Congo, my sister, if you rearrange Congo. Either you give them autonomous states or same autonomous decentralization system of governance, where states can have powers and you hold on defense, treasury, and foreign affairs, and strengthen the same systems down. There are people in Congo who don't know Mobutu died. Is this a country that you want to tell me it will ever bring peace?
Now, Dr. Matsanga,
yes.
With all these peace summits and discussions and seeing during the past weekend with President Felix Tshisekedi just basically saying that, quote, Congolese who want to rebuild their country and emerge from the crisis, unquote, could we see this as the president basically refusing to have talks with the AFC? With this in mind, what needs to happen? You speak of dismantling of the DRC, Yugoslavia style, but are they ready to do that? Because clearly it doesn't seem like.
The biggest problem of Congo is Tshisekedi. Yes, 240 standing army on Congolese soil. You people, we all went to school. We don't speak like we did not go to school. 240 standing armies on Congo's soil. How are you going to solve that problem? By signing an agreement with only one group? How? Tell me. The biggest problem is Tshisekedi. I think the father was the best person. Tshisekedi has let me down. I remember the father very well in Paris whenever some of us would go there to visit him. Intelligent man. But this one is not intelligent at all. And we must tell the truth. He's one of the people creating chaos. How do you lock out a former president Kabila? Tell him not to come. Charge him with treason and want him arrested. When he gave you power, is this the type you can't get? What this? Which Congo do you want to rebuild? There are people in Congo who don't know that Tshisekedi is the president. Yes, in those forests. Did you know that? They don't know. They have never voted for anybody. So which country is this? Are you going to rearrange that we re-emerge as Congolese?
Yeah.
You are just...
Well, Dr. Matsanga, unfortunately, we have run out of time, and I have to leave it there for today. But thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you very much, my sister. All the time, let me be frank and let me be hated in Africa, but let me speak the truth. Rearrange Congo. Congo, Nigeria need rearrangement. They are very bad states on African continent. Goodbye.
It's Dr. David Matsanga, political analyst, is quite passionate about African issues, as you have heard. It is 20 after 12 Central African time.
In this episode,